This is News Today with WDW News Today. I'm Tom Corliss of WDWNT.com. Please like this video, subscribe, and hit the notifications bell to make sure you never miss the latest from the Disney theme parks all around the world. But here now the news for June 29th, 2026. Although Pete's Silly Sideshow was said to reopen on June 27th, it actually reopened early on June 26th. Pete's Silly Sideshow had been closed at the Magic Kingdom since January for refurbishment. The attraction, which houses meet and greets for Minnie, Donald, Daisy, and Goofy, is open daily from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. During the refurb, Minnie, Goofy, Daisy, and Donald were meeting outside in Storybook Circus, and thankfully just in time for the hottest time of the year, they are back inside. A new tent roof was installed on the structure back in April, but appears much of the decor and such inside was touched up and such while they had the time to do so. The signs also appear refreshed, as does the carpeting inside the tent. So they used the opportunity to do more than just replace the tent itself. The characters are all meeting in their usual sideshow spots. There's no changes to that, but it's good to see them back inside. This project is complete. Again, another one of those Magic Kingdom projects where they're just general upkeep of the park is happening, which is great to see because it feels like for a long time it didn't. It's worth noting the nearby Big Top Souvenirs remains closed and does not have a reopening date at this time, but a very similar project happening there. I have my fingers crossed for the carpet. And there's some of you, the real ones out there, know what I'm talking about. But if not, I'll let you know. Many years ago, it's not actually that many, it was 14 years ago, when Storybook Circus opened, that store opened, the carpet in that store was, it looked like you're at the circus. So the rings of action at the circus, whatever they're called. Right, isn't that what they're called? A three-ring circus, right? So the rings on the ground were actually there where you could see like the sand pit, and then outside of it was different. There was a carpet fire at some point years later, and when the carpet caught on fire, they couldn't quickly order the same carpet again, so they put this generic ugly gray carpet in, and I was very upset, and I kind of figured like they're not gonna stop and order that carpet again and put it back in, are they? And they didn't. And now it's been closed for so long that I'm really hopeful that it's happened. So I'm holding out hope that the circus carpet is back in Big Top Souvenirs. They've had the time, and considering that they changed the carpet out at Pete's Silly Sideshow, one might think it happened over there. So my fingers are crossed. Yes, that's the point in my life I'm at, where I'm just hoping for carpet. Walt Disney World has quietly added Captain Jack Sparrow to the entertainment list for Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party. He's now listed among the other entertainment offerings on the resort website. The details around Captain Jack's involvement in the event are sparse. All the website says is sail over to Adventureland, where Captain Jack Sparrow has dropped anchor to lead a swashbuckling series of pirate antics. We assume he and his pirate crew will be somewhere over by the Pirates of the Caribbean attraction, although the description implies they may be roaming. Jack Sparrow is not a frequent guest in Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party outside of the parade. Rusty Cutlass, the pirate band, has been on the stage over by Pirates for the last several years. They are a fantastic offering. I'd be very sad if they're not coming back, but they're not listed on the website just yet. So we'll have to wait and see exactly what's going on here. Over a month after the first Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party night sold out, that would be Halloween as usual, a second date has sold out. August 14th, one of the cheapest party dates, and my birthday, is also now sold out. August 11th is now the only $119 ticket left for the party. Tickets increase in price as they get closer to Halloween. August 7th, though, is the first night of the event. That's not one of the cheapest because they know all the bloggers and vloggers will pay full price to be there, and of course that will be us on that first night. The Partner statue is now available as a figurine at Walt Disney World. We saw it at Box Office Gifts in the Magic Kingdom. The Partner statue is $99. This is one of the cheaper recreations there's been. Walt and Mickey are seen holding hands. It is a complete replica of what's out in the park. And I will say they really nailed it this time because Mickey, everything looks exactly like it does on the statue. There's a very distinct style that Blaine Gibson put into this statue. It's not exactly the preferred style for Mickey you see everywhere, so it feels very unique, and it's nice to see that in the statue itself. It does have a little plaque on the front. This is a nice, I think I'm going to pick this one up, even though I probably have 8 different Partner statues. This is a really cool one. This program is brought to you by our official travel agent sponsor, that's Be Our Guest Vacations. Your dream vacation begins with Be Our Guest and their concierge team of expert vacation planners. Head on over to wwnt.travel and their team will design your next magical vacation, from the Walt Disney World and Disneyland Resorts to Disney Cruise Line to Adventures by Disney and more. And the best part is their concierge services are 100%
free.
They're free, that's right, so book today. Sunshine Seasons in the Land Pavilion at EPCOT has debuted 3 new rice bowls and 2 new desserts. There's now plant-based sofritas. It's cilantro lime rice, black beans, onions, peppers, plant-based feta, and pico de gallo for $12.49. There are pork carnitas with, again, that's cilantro lime rice, black beans, onions, peppers, cotija cheese, and pico de gallo for $12.49. The beef barbacoa bowl is cilantro lime rice, black beans, onions, peppers, cotija cheese, and pico de gallo for $13.49. The new desserts are the Mickey-shaped strawberry lemonade macaron for $6.29 and the peanut butter cookie with cookies and cream icing for $5.29. You know what? I think we may have to head over there for a review. Might have to try these out. The first booths for the 2026 EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival have arrived at the park 2 months before the festival begins. Looking to continue my festival PTSD. During our walk-around World Showcase on June 26, we noticed several themed booths in place. The faux stone booth is for the Spain marketplace, and near Morocco is a booth representing Greece. Though the booths are in place and some have decorations, signs haven't been put on them just yet. This booth, which has previously been the Belgium marketplace, is located between Morocco and France. Also between the 2 pavilions is the Brazil booth. Some of these were in place for Flower and Garden. Some of these are newly installed. And back near the front of World Showcase is the Hawaii booth. The 2026 EPCOT International Food and Wine Festival will run from August 27th through November 21st. So stay tuned for all that coverage. My PTSD and my anxiety just dipped a bit when I read August 27th. That gives me some time to live before the next festival. A new slate of menu items has arrived for the summer at the Hollywood Brown Derby at Disney's Hollywood Studios. Disney each shared these on their Instagram account, but I will tell you, we actually already had a review in the can for you to enjoy. You can go watch the review in full with myself and Rosanna at WWNT POV. That's our sister channel. Among the new items, there's a pan-roasted halibut for $54. There is a char-grilled octopus appetizer for $20. There is a fried pork chop for $45. You definitely want to hear the review on that one. The braised center cut short rib is $54. For dessert, there's a honey pot de creme for $14. There's also a vanilla fruit cheesecake, which is $14 as well. And a filet mignon has been updated for $56. It has new sides. But again, you can watch the full review at WDWNT POV, our sister channel, or you can read it at WDWNT.com. Disney's Animal Kingdom has new themed drinkware available for purchase. We found it inside Riverside Depot. There is an Animal Kingdom tumbler, which is $44.99. It's a stainless steel tumbler with an off-white exterior, and Disney's Animal Kingdom is in black text on one side. And on the other side is a grid of animal print mini bows and black Mickey icons, and Wild About Disney is in black script. The Animal Kingdom water bottle is $44.99. It's a dark green bottle that has park iconography, including characters, animals, a safari truck, and the Tree of Life. The Animal Kingdom mug is $16.99. It's a 14-ounce mug, stoneware mug with a speckled finish. The Animal Kingdom word mark is in brown on one side, and on the other side is the Tree of Life within a brown ring reading Survival, Balance, and Harmony. Walt Disney World appears to have added a new location-based restriction to mobile orders at select resort restaurants, but the change is not currently resort-wide. At certain resort counter service, if you try to place a mobile order now, you'll get a too far away message if you are not within the zone you need to be to place the mobile order. This is known as geofencing. This has been something that some people have reported very occasionally in the past. There's been counter service restaurants that enacted this just on certain days. What's interesting is at the Magic Kingdom Resort area, they never enacted this, but like let's say you ordered at Gasparilla Grill at the Grand Floridian. There were certainly times in the past where a pop-up would come up and tell you like, this is for people actually at the resort, and you just hit okay, and then it didn't matter. You could order no matter what. Interestingly enough, the resorts that it's currently enacted at are all Magic Kingdom area resort hotels. So at Disney's Grand Floridian Resort and Spa, it is Gasparilla Island Grill. At the Contemporary, it is Contempo Cafe and Steakhouse 71 to go. At the Polynesian, Captain Cook's and Kona Cafe to go. And at Wilderness Lodge, Roaring Fork, and the Geyser Point Bar and Grill to go are all enacting this right now. Weirdly enough, at Fort Wilderness, Trails End is not doing this. It's certain resorts, and it's just before the 4th of July holiday. So the question is this a 4th of July holiday thing, or is this another attempt to keep non-resort guests out of these resort hotels? Of course, as you know, at Disney Springs, they've just enacted that. We'll talk about this in a few minutes, but they've enacted the new rule, which is you have to be a resort guest to use the bus service there, and that is to go to the resorts or to the parks. Is this another attempt to keep people out? Of course, there's the story of the Gingerbread House not going to the Grand Floridian this year. Is this all somehow interconnected? Are there going to be greater restrictions on visiting hotels you are not staying at? We don't know yet at this time, but I do want to clarify there's been some questions. If you're staying at any resort hotel, you can get into that bus perimeter and go anywhere you want. So if you are a Disney World Resort Hotel guest, they don't really care so much. If you're not staying at a Disney Resort Hotel, they're going to stop you at Disney Springs, but not anywhere else. So you can go from anywhere else to anywhere. There's no restrictions. It's purely Disney Springs, leaving Disney Springs, going somewhere else. Several new Disney's Yacht Club Resort items have sailed into port, including a Tommy Bahama button-up, a Loungefly bag, and a Steamboat Willie ornament. The ornament is $26.99. Yes, it does feature Steamboat Willie Mickey. It's very cute. The Disney's Yacht Club Resort Loungefly bag is new. It's $90. And what I've got my eyes set on is that Yacht Club Resort Tommy Bahama button-up shirt for $130, which has all sorts of classic Disney sailing ships on it. We saw all these items at the market at Ale and Compass at the Yacht Club. They are exclusively there. One of the Starbucks locations at Disney Springs is getting a new art piece on the exterior, a permit indicates. A notice of commencement was filed for the West Side Starbucks calling for the installation of a new art piece at facade, including metal panel system, necessary support steel, and framing work. Filed by Starbucks, it contracts L. Frink Custom Construction, which created the existing building. There are no details about what the art will be, but it seems it is happening. We'll keep an eye out on the Starbucks to show you when this happens. Now that the verification is required to utilize resort transportation from Disney Springs, the Disney Springs website has updated its transportation page accordingly. As of June 28th, guests visiting Walt Disney World Resort have to verify a hotel dining or activity reservation before using resort transportation from Disney Springs. To clear the verification checkpoint at Disney Springs, you will need to hold one of the following. Again, that is a confirmed dining reservation at a Disney Resort hotel, a confirmed resort recreation activity booking, such as a boat cruise, an active Walt Disney World Resort hotel reservation. And because of this, the Disney Springs Resort Transportation page has been updated to reflect the verification. The bus description reads, bus service from Disney Springs to Disney Resort Hotels is available for guests staying at a Disney Resort Hotel or visiting one with a valid dining or experience reservation. Guests may be asked to show a valid resort hotel room key or dining or experience reservation. Bus service between Disney Resort Hotels and Disney Springs is available during Disney Springs operating hours and ends 1 hour after closing. While the boat service description is slightly more vague, guests boarding the Sassagoula River cruise from Disney Springs to a Disney Resort hotel may be asked to show a valid room key, dining reservation, or experience reservation. The Sassagoula River cruise boats service Disney Saratoga Springs Resort, Old Key West, Port Orleans Riverside, and Port Orleans French Quarter. As of the writing of this story, the Walt Disney World website transportation page was not showing any updated text about Disney Springs transportation, but we know the verification is in process. In fact, we'll break it down for you now. As guests approach the bus terminal areas at Disney Springs, they'll notice barriers funneling them into the verification walkway. Cast members are standing by to scan your tickets or resort reservations. For gates 1 through 9 on the town center side, there is a cast member with a scanner between gates 1 and 2. Gate 1, which is for Disney's Typhoon Lagoon and Golden Oak, was not being regulated during our visit. For gates 2 through 9 on the Orange Garage side, there is a cast member with a scanner at the end of the queue row. Guests heading to gates 10 through 25 on the Orange Garage side also have one cast member with the scanner. You cannot access the bus terminal area for the resorts at all without passing through the verification zone. At the Sassagoula River Cruise boat dock, barriers are also in place to stream guests to the main entry point for ticket and reservation verification. After verification, you will walk right up to the boat entrance area. Signs are in place by both the boat and bus loading areas to inform guests of the new requirement. The new social gaming spot at Disney Springs Level 99 is officially open as of today. It's set to open today at 11 a.m., so by the time you're watching this, it is already open for guests. The first 500 guests, in fact, got a commemorative pin. We have our full review of Level 99 available on our website. There's also a video review right here on this channel. If you haven't checked it out yet, I invite you to do so. We said it was better than Disney Quest ever was, which I know got a lot of anger from a lot of people, but I have to be honest, have to be truthful, and that is actually the truth. So please go watch that review if you haven't watched it just yet. But they're open now. Tickets are available through August if you want to check out Level 99 at Disney Springs West Side. Today's show also brought to you by Carousel of Products at carouselofproducts.com. That's where you can get this fantastic button-up shirt celebrating 55 years of the electrical water pageant. We also have a Spaceship Earth Moonrise shirt. It's Spaceship Earth at night. And we have one for Rock and Roller Coaster, the original, available as well. Those are on sale. If you buy all three, you get 20% off. If you buy any three, actually, you get 20% off. We also have 10% off site-wide during our summer sale and free shipping on $69 or more. And don't forget, this is my last call on this show. If you want the magnet and pin of the month, which is the Goat with Dynamite from Big Thunder Mountain Railroad, this is last call. This is last call. You have less than 48 hours to order either the subscription for the magnet or subscription for the pins if you want that one. And that's it. The month is over. Keep that in mind. Also want to plug many of our upcoming events. If you want to get tickets for the Learn the Roadway series, where you learn straight from a former Disney Imagineer or current Disney artist, those are at events.wdwnt.com. Also, tickets to watch this show live are also right there on that page. We have several dates coming up. We have July 6th. We have a very special episode on July 8th. That is our 19th anniversary here at WDWNT. We've got some exciting announcements and such to make that day. So that'll be a big one. We've also added one for July 17th. That's Disneyland's birthday. You can come celebrate with us. And I think we have one in early August now. So head on over to events.wdwnt.com. And I do want to mention one more time, Way Back Wed, our biggest ever gathering of former Imagineers and creatives, happening October 2nd and 3rd at Disney's Contemporary Resort. You have to be a WIGS member to join, but it is free to be a WIGS member. You just go to patreon.com/WDWNT and join at the free level. If you join at a level higher than the free level, there is a registration discount that is quite sizable, I will warn you. And I want to announce today a new presenter for Way Back Wed. It's going to be Tom Morris, former creative developmental executive at Walt Disney Imagineering, who led a 35-year career with WED. Working in Imagineering from 1980 to 2016, Tom's projects include the original Journey into Imagination at EPCOT, Star Tours, Sleeping Beauty Castle at Disneyland Paris, still I think the best castle, and Cars Land at Disney California Adventure. Tom also served as an executive producer for Hong Kong Disneyland and helped develop concepts for attractions like Rock and Roller Coaster starring Aerosmith and Disney Quest. And beyond his role in Imagineering, Tom is a lifelong Disney fan and a fellow Disney historian. He's working on a fantastic book about the history of those that worked at WED Enterprises or Walt Disney Imagineering. We're so excited to have Tom at Way Back WED. Going to be talking about his time working on Disney California Adventure and more. And we have a couple more announcements related to Tom coming up relatively soon. We'll let you know about those when we have them. But another great panelist. This is why it's our biggest ever gathering of Imagineers and creatives. The list just keeps getting longer and longer. It is going to be an exceptional event. We hope you can join us for that. Magic Key holders are encouraged to explore Disneyland Park with a new souvenir scavenger hunt map and sticker sheet. There's no prize for completing the scavenger hunt, but it's a free activity, so just finish it for your own enjoyment. Pick up the road trip inspired map and stickers from the Disneyana shop on Main Street, USA through July 24th while supplies last. There's a limit of one per Magic Key holder while supplies last. The Magic Key holder must present their valid Magic Key to participate. It must be present at the time of redemption. On the back of the map are scavenger hunt tasks. The map is split into different colored sections with 1 or 2 clues for each land. Stitch fans can now get a new souvenir celebrating 626 Day, even if a little late. The Tropical Stitch straw clip is available at various carts and kiosks across Disneyland and Disney California Adventure. The Tropical Stitch straw clip, say that 5 times fast, the Tropical Stitch straw clip is $9.75 with the purchase of a beverage. No discounts apply, and it's limited to 2 per person. As you can see, Stitch, he's a pineapple. There he is. Get yours now. Construction is continuing at Disney California Adventure for the future Coco ride, with the latest photos showing new progress around the large backstage site behind the Incredicoaster at Pixar Pier. The future Coco ride site is located in the backstage area near the Paradise Gardens Park and Pixar Pier, behind the Incredicoaster and along Disneyland Drive. During our latest visit, we took a closer look at the recently paved roadway curving through the worksite, bordered by green fencing and red water-filled barriers. The road appears to serve as an internal access route for construction vehicles and backstage traffic, while the surrounding area remains under active excavation. At some point, this will not be a road, this will be where the ride is. Large sections of the site remain cleared of dirt, but the grading looks more organized than in earlier updates. Several areas now have more defined elevation changes, with gravel patches, dirt mounds, and staged construction materials visible throughout the site. Multiple excavators are positioned near the backstage support buildings and around the road-adjacent worksite. Closer views show utility work underway along the edge of the paved roadway, and white conduit or piping is visible near the fencing, with utility boxes, concrete pads, and temporary coverings placed across several parts of the site. A temporary wooden ramp or bridge spans a dugout area, suggesting ongoing trenching or underground infrastructure work. Along Disneyland Drive, a tall black scrim fence continues to block most of the street-level views of the project. Newly planted shrubs and young trees line the inside of the fence, and red traffic barriers remain along the curb as much of the former sidewalk area remains demolished. There is no visible vertical construction for the ride building as far as we can see. The project remains in early site prep phase with heavy equipment, temporary fencing, and utility work dominating the area. So again, we're just early prep, no vertical work, and I would almost bet we're not going to see vertical work until that temporary road is cleared, which is still a ways away. The pop-up Earl of Sandwich location has closed, the good news being the new Earl of Sandwich permanent location has opened at the downtown Disney district. The new Earl of Sandwich is now officially open for business, and while the grand opening is set for July 15th, guests are welcome to come in and enjoy their favorite bites already. So there it is, Earl of Sandwich now open at the downtown Disney district in Anaheim. The Carnaby upstairs remains closed. We don't know when that's going to open, except for maybe July 15th. We've talked about this for a long time, but finally, the new animal scenes have debuted along the rivers of the far west in Thunder Mesa. That's Frontierland at Disneyland Paris. These scenes were delayed quite a bit, but were announced by the park over a year ago. The new scenes have been under construction for the last several weeks, but now they're in full view of guests. They're fully installed. The original sketches from Disney legend Marc Davis inspired these. The new figures, including a buffalo on a prairie and raccoons and a skunk on a floating log, have been specially designed only for this park by Walt Disney Imagineering Paris teams. Another scene features several deer gathered along a rocky stream. Guests can catch a glimpse of these new additions while enjoying a cruise aboard the Molly Brown, which has recently been renovated from stem to stern not that long ago. That's when we thought these scenes were going to debut, but these are beautiful. They're classic Disney. Love this edition. Cannot wait to see this in person. A ghostly figure is on its way to Disneyland Paris. With a limited edition status, this statue by Kevin and Jody featuring the organ from the Phantom Manor will be available at the park soon. It will be 219 euros. That's approximately $250 US. Only 800 of the Phantom Manor pipe organ figures will be available. These figures are limited to 2 per guest. Guests who purchase them during the signing event on July 2nd, which features the artists Kevin Kidney and Jody Daly, are eligible to have them signed. The signing event will take place in 2 segments. The first is from 10 a.m. to noon, and the second from 2 p.m. to 4 p.m. at Deco by Disney in the Disney Village. That's the shopping district. Some discounts do apply to the figure purchases. Kevin and Jody have been doing an insane series of statues for Disneyland Paris. This is one of the earlier ones. This is the Manor itself, but there are many in the series. They've done Pirates of the Caribbean figures and so much more. 2 legendary Disney artists who have done so much. They've designed parades, so much more than merchandise. Parades, they've worked on attractions, a multitude of things across Disney parks. 2 for sure someday Disney legends. Very cool to see them still doing limited edition art for Disneyland Paris. Pelé Soccer is officially kicked off at Disney Village in Disneyland Paris as well. The store is now open for guests to visit. The new Pelé football shop, or soccer shop for us Americans, is now open next to Sports Bar and Lounge in the Disney Village. The boutique is dedicated to the sport and the legacy of Brazilian football icon Pelé, with sports merchandise inspired by modern football and the titular athlete's legendary career. Pelé Soccer offers authentic jerseys from major clubs and national teams, exclusive Pelé collections, apparel, accessories, kids items, and other football products. And this is Pelé Soccer's first shop in Europe. The brand already has locations in New York City, Disney Springs at the Walt Disney World Resort, and the downtown Disney District at Disneyland Resort, but now also at Disneyland Paris. Walt Disney Imagineering is working on a manta ray inspired by Grandma Tala from Moana and a floating food truck droid based on the Mandalorian and Grogu, both of which could eventually appear in a Disney theme park. Bloomberg shared in an exclusive report that Walt Disney Imagineering is developing aquatic robots such as 6-foot manta rays, which could be used in a lagoon along with a fleet of dolphin-like robots. Of course, Disney first shared a look at their aquatic robots last year in a video of their own. One of the small prototypes was inspired by the elu, that's one of the creatures in Avatar: The Way of Water, and also appeared in the Disney's Animal Kingdom ride Flight of Passage. We, of course, said that the robots could appear in the new Avatar land coming to Disney California Adventure, which is inspired by The Way of Water directly. But they also shared a ray-like robot, and this is the first confirmation Disney has given that it could be used to replicate Grandma Tala in spirit form. The aquatic robot uses hydrofoil technology to propel itself through the water. Bloomberg also noted it could be potentially repurposed for other franchises, including Star Wars. This release was made in conjunction with the debut of that new animatronic figure at Pirates of the Caribbean, but Imagineering also said they're developing technology for their upcoming Abu Dhabi theme park, said to be its most technologically advanced. Quote, "We're working backwards through our other experiences to test and learn so that we can deliver on that promise and that all of our parks will benefit from the innovations between now and then," said Kyle Laughlin, Senior Vice President for Technology and R&D at Walt Disney Imagineering. I think in the time frame in which we've talked about Abu Dhabi, you will see more free-roaming robots, integrated XR experiences, and all kinds of new ways to engage people as both devices and expectations change. Bloomberg saw a video of mechanical dolphins swimming together in a lagoon using jet pump propulsion and biomimetic articulation to balance themselves and GPS tech for navigation. They're designed to interact with each other to tell a story. Now we have to cover all types of form factors, from bipedal robots to quadrupeds to things that fly and things you'll see in the water, said Laughlin. All of that is necessary because when we can't have a costume character, we need to figure out other ways to bring those things to life. The goal is not to do innovation or technology for technology's sake, but always in service of the story. Regarding bodies of water at Disney parks, Laughlin said they're often lit up at night for shows but unused during the day. "We look at this as a canvas where we could really bring new entertainment to life in a way that could be super powerful for our guests." He said both Moana and Avatar inspired the possible entertainment. "It's this great mix of water IP and underutilized spaces, so we're exploring what autonomous aquatic performers can do." And of course, when you think of unused large water spaces at parks, the one that comes to mind for me instantly is Animal Kingdom, where Rivers of Light once was. So maybe maybe they're thinking of something there, which would be great. And of course, during the day, not a whole lot going on at EPCOT, but I remember. I don't know if all you remember, there was this show. There was a show called Harmonious, and they promised us with this masterful creation of Robert Chapek that not only would it be this grand show at night, but they could shoot fountains off during the day and it would be beautiful. And spoiler alert, it was not beautiful, it was hideous, and it did nothing to hide the infrastructure for the show. So maybe something during the day at EPCOT. I'm still pretty mad that the luminous infrastructure does not always leave the park. In fact, very rarely does it go backstage. And it isn't exactly pretty, and you have to stare at that during the day. So maybe something to bring the World Showcase Lagoon to life during the day would be great also. But going back to Star Wars, Bloomberg said Disney is also exploring the concept of a food cart with a hovering droid, which could appear in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge. They saw a demo of the floating droid featuring a food truck inspired by one that's in the Mandalorian and Grogu. The droid would react in different ways and put on a show depending on what guests ordered. I think that what we're going to learn is how to show and sell products, and if it works, we'll continue to look at new ways. It doesn't even have to be a drink. You could have a little Elsa doll or something like that. The team collaborated with director Jon Favreau to create the cart, which they plan to showcase at D23, the Ultimate Disney Fan Event, in August, and potentially debut at Disneyland by the end of the year. We can be on the bleeding edge from a robotics perspective, but we can also look for novel ways to use old technologies too, like marionettes and puppets, in brand new ways as well. The goal is to be comprehensive in terms of both the franchises and types of formats that we work with. Great example of that, they do puppet shows in Zootopia in Shanghai Disney. That's a great use of that very old technology to bring that land to life. What we're seeing here, though, is a great focus on bringing these IP spaces to life to making them feel lived in, and to bringing characters to life that maybe were impossible to bring to life in those traditional forms. But Disney's still looking at ways with the traditional forms to bring those characters to life, still having costume characters, still having puppets in Shanghai, things of that sort. I will say I love this stuff. I really do. And I know that the projection pirate is very divisive, and I totally agree on it being divisive because, again, I agree, the projection face doesn't blend well with the other characters in the ride. It's maybe not in the right place. There's a little too much life in the cavern. I have a million complaints about that projection-faced pirate. But the one complaint I don't have is them pushing technology forward. I think it's great. It looks fantastic. It just maybe shouldn't have gone in Pirates of the Caribbean. Maybe it shouldn't have been there. But it's very cool. And one thing I want to clear up, I've seen some negative comments where people saying, like, didn't they learn from Anna and Elsa on the Frozen ride? This is a completely different thing. That was internal projection, which means the projector's back here. It's projecting the face, and then that meant, like, yeah, the back, you have to cover the projector, but then the face was that clear surface that projects, and that creates that weird line that Anna and Elsa had, which wasn't great. And they've since fixed by putting physical-faced animatronics in that place. This is totally different in that the projectors are outside, and the coolest thing I thought was that Disney was very open about the fact that there are 2 projectors there. And there's only one ever running, but if one breaks, the other is an immediate backup, so the show never has to stop. I think that's wonderful. So I do think there are places where the physical face animatronics are the best option, and there are places where these projection-faced figures could be the right choice. And that's evidence. We've seen that. People, when she works, which is rare, but when Victoria Frankenstein works at Epic Universe, people are very impressed by it. And I think it is impressive. I think there are some characters in certain lighting environments that can be really special, that could really wow people. And then there's places like Pirates of the Caribbean where I don't think it works so well. So my problem is not with the technology. I think they achieved something very special, and I think they topped Universal at their own game, which is cool to see. But it could also be in the wrong place, and I think that's definitely the case with the Pirates figure. These other things sound great. I love Disney has always been about pushing technology. They've always been a technology company, and this refocus during the Josh D'Amaro years has been a great thing. They are a technology company. They invented all sorts of ride systems in the 1960s and continuing onward. They invented audio animatronics. They essentially invented robots. They were the first real robots in the world. It has been, WED Enterprises, WDI, has been a technology company since day one. It's also been a storytelling company first and foremost. So I love these things. I think the walk around Olaf has been incredible. I'm so excited to see more of this stuff that makes these places feel real. And yeah, I hate to say it, but I would love to have like a shop where you walk in and you interact with a character is not a human. It's like the reality is that they're just that alien floating there, and they can sell you a product and they can complete that transaction. That would be incredible. And probably not for the reasons that Walt Disney World management would like it, where you can replace a human being, but for the reasons where story-wise, you can, like, if I could actually have bought an item from Dok-Ondar in Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, how cool would that have been? How cool would that be if I can go to the checkout counters with the human cast members, or I could have went to him, I could have waited a little longer, and he would have actually, had the transaction and had a little interaction with me. That would be insanely cool. And I want to see that envelope pushed more and more. That's the most exciting thing about Disney for me, is they continue. The real world magic is new technology. New technology is indiscernible from actual magic because you don't know how it works. Disney is a company built upon that magic, and the technology continues to make those magical moments for people. And I want to see more of these crazy, kooky walk around or floating characters. More, please. For the absolute latest on these stories and all that didn't make it into today's show, be sure to check WDWNT.com and follow us on all your favorite social media platforms. You can also support the entire team behind the show and others by joining the WDWNT Interglobe Society at patreon.com/WDWNT. Get access to exclusive content, discounted show and event tickets, and more. Special shout out to our WIGS members watching who make the show happen every week. For the worldwide leader in Disney Parks news, this is Tom Corliss saying enjoy the rest of your today, and have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow.